I'm Ernie Shimizi for WVVH-TV, and we're at the Artists and Writers softball game here in East Hampton.
Put it in.
For Hamptons Television with Leaf Hope, the man who organized this Artists and Writers baseball game. This is softball game. This is amazing.
That's partly true, but not necessarily true. I mean, there are a lot of people who played it and et cetera and worked on it, and they've played this game since 1948. That's as close as I can come to it. It might have been 47. It might have been 48, 49. That's of course all the great painters, Franz Klein and Willem de Kooning and Joan Mitchell, and not the singer but the painter, and Jackson Pollock, et cetera, et cetera. And then it just went on and on, and the writers stepped up until now. They really dominate everything because it's their celebrity. When you look at them over there, I mean, they look like stars, don't they? And they act
it's fierce. This Artists and Writers,
yes,
the competition between the two.
Yes, and they act like stars.
That's right.
And when they lose, which is occasionally, they lose occasionally, but when they lose, I mean, it's hard to talk to them. You can't talk to them. I mean,
this is a competitive group.
Yeah.
But over the years, just for the benefit of our viewers who are unaccustomed to this great event, you've had some guys who went on to become president, and famous stars, and it's amazing.
Well, wait a minute. You're forgetting the Supreme Court Justice, Steve Breyer. He umpired the whole game one time.
Isn't that something?
Steve Breyer. We've also had a few other people involved in the game who maybe the public might not be crazy about. Charlie Rangel, who's in the paper these days.
Yes.
We had Abby Hoffman, one of the Chicago Seven. He played in the game one year. And Carl Stokes, no, he was okay. He was the mayor of Cleveland. But we've had a lot of people.
I want to talk about you because without you, this would...
oh, yeah, it would get done.
No, but
somebody else would pick it up.
Leaf, you've made this what it is, and
okay,
and your dedication to it, and you enjoy this. This is one of your children. Is that a little bit too strong?
Yeah, maybe.
How about a mistress?
Yeah, okay, okay.
If I said one of your mistresses, would that be...
Yes, okay, but a fun one. A fun one. But it is, I mean, you got to look at the charities, for example. The game is one thing, but the whole thing spins around charities. And if you just did it without charities, what do you have? You have a nickel and dime game, a bunch of guys hitting the ball and catching and throwing a little with a stick. So, and fun. Certainly, athleticism is a part of it, but the charities get you to focus on the money involved and how to organize it, and etc. So, I mean, it's very important. Last year we raised $77,000. Hey, Josh, you're playing. Okay.
So while you're in the midst of all of this, you're giving out orders, you're telling players.
Lauren, did you warm up? Okay.
All right. You see, you can talk to these people. I mean, I'd be intimidated to say, "Hey, Alec."
You'd be intimidated.
I'd be intimidated.
You'd be intimidated to talk to these people.
I mean, you're talking to them as if get out there and do something.
That's right. They're supposed to get out there, and if they don't do something, they don't come down.
Exactly. They want to be part of it. And they
I mean, if they grab a bat or a glove or start.
Well,
what are they
nothing
here for?
like this for our viewers. You could travel the world. What you've kept alive. I know you don't want to take credit for its.
Yeah,
but what you've kept alive year after year, there is nothing like this where artists and writers come together.
Yeah.
And these are guys who are billionaires in this group also.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Mort Zuckerman's and Alec Baldwin plays every year, and Greg Bellows, another actor, and Josh Charles, and these are actors and writers, and Jay McInerny's playing, and Kenny Oletta, and Mike Lupica, and you got a bunch of, I mean, very gifted people.
And when you're not doing this, I know you're a restaurateur, you've been involved. a little bit about yourself now that we have a moment before the mayhem begins.
I have a restaurant, but it's not mine. It's somebody. It's a fellow by the name of Jay Plumeri, who owns the lease on that restaurant, and he got this wonderful article in the New York Times on last Sunday.
And the name of the restaurant?
Is Race Lane Restaurant.
Race Lane. But for many years you owned
the Laundry.
The Laundry.
Yeah.
One of the most famous restaurants here in the Hamptons.
Okay, but
times change.
Times change. Yes.
Times change, but not tastes, because the taste there was fantastic.
Sometimes tastes go south.
Well, we were talking about mistresses. That was another mistress.
Ah, yes. All right. Yes.
Well,
but there are a few women, for example, as a mistress, for example, like this one right here. She. That was.
Well, please.
That's. You and I might whisper a few.
I'm gonna take your lead on this one.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
we're so thrilled.
Do you know who she is?
Please introduce us.
She is Juliet Papa of WINS.
I know her very well, and I know her voice very well, and she's the voice of this event.
Yeah.
You know, we've been using your broadcasting voice here, telling us about this event.
Yeah, well, it's great to be a part of this event, and I'm just so happy to be having a good time.
How's it working? Because I know you guys got a game to do, and
Yeah.
I'm holding you up right now. But what's it like working with this guy? Some energy, huh?
Leaf, yeah, he's like the Energizer Bunny. He don't quit, he keeps going, and we got to keep up with him.
Okay.
Wait a
I know
minute.
you're going to say play ball now, so.
No, wait.
Yeah, we have 2 minutes, it's okay.
Yeah, no, I was just, you talked about mistresses, for example. I'd like to bite her neck. But
You know, you're going to get me in trouble. You know, I'm going to lose an FCC license here. But she's a lovely lady and accomplished and award-winning.
you mean I can't bite her neck? Come over here.
You know,
Later.
Leaf, you could do whatever you want to do. You're the man.
Later. Yeah, that's the 10th inning festivities.
Dan Ratina, Dan's Papers, Artists and Writers game. You're the man. You're the umpire of this.
They got to behave or they won't get by me.
So if we were writing for Dan's paper about this event, 25 words or less, what would you say?
This is a get-together of a lot of people who like to play baseball and who have come to really appreciate one another over the years. And we are happy to raise money for charity.
And it's a fun event, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
A fun event with people who are stellar in the world of writing, yourself included. You've always been part of this. Artists, billionaires, assorted politicians,
Yes.
people on the way up, people on the way down,
Right.
people somewhere.
One of my favorite times was umpiring Christie Brinkley, who was hitting, and she couldn't swing and hit the ball for anything. So we gave her 6 strikes because everybody wanted to see her run.
Well, that must have been a pleasure for you to.
Yes, it was.
But memorable moments come out of this event. haven't they?
Always, they have. I go way back, and I remember when Abby Hoffman played in this game, when Eugene McCarthy played in this game.
And I'm
And
told
Bill
the
Clinton
Supreme
played.
Court Justice.
He umpired the game for a couple of innings, but we threw him out. He didn't know the game.
There were bad decisions, I
He
guess.
studied law while everybody else was playing billiard.
Well, it's so great. I know you've been busy this summer with writing and speaking all across the area and on your new
Yeah.
book. The name of that new book?
Oh, in the Hamptons too. It's a memoir.
A memoir in your bookstores, Barnes and Nobles. This is the man who, when they speak of the Hamptons, you own the copyright to it. So,
I got it in 1896.
well, we all follow in your shadow. It's a pleasure to see you, Dan.
Talk to you later.
Thank
Thank you.
Team photos, and then the 62nd annual Artists and Writers Game will begin, and stay tuned for our opening ceremony.
Our our viewers will recognize this handsome gentleman, actor, no doubt with the artists, not the writers, Josh Charles, and you're on CBS's Good Wife.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the artists and writers.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, any predictions, Counselor?
I think the artists are going to take this one, but it's my first time playing, so I don't know why I'm making that announcement, but I feel it.
Well,
feel good. Feel lucky.
A lot rests on your shoulders. It's great having you part of this event. Are you spending time here in East Hampton?
A little bit, yeah. I have some friends who live out in the Springs, and spending the weekend with them, and I love it out here. It's great.
Well, you know, Juliet Margolis, who's one of the stars of your show, was originally from East Hampton.
I didn't know that.
See, a little bit of trivia.
Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. Continued success.
All right, well,
that is a great show, and those of us who love legal dramas, Good Wife is a top-rated show, and
all right, man. Thanks.
Continued success.
Okay,
Thank
buddy. You take care. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. With the mayor of the village of East Hampton, Paul Rickenbach. Mr. Mayor, to be the mayor of East Hampton, what a lovely job that is.
Well, I think that says quite a bit about being the mayor of America's most beautiful village. I'm honored and humbled, but it's the people that make it work. It really is. It's a team effort, whether it's the residents or the transient community. Everyone seems to come together for all the right reasons, and it's like hitting a home run. Apropos of today's game.
Apropos, exactly. And Leaf Hope, one of your citizens here in East Hampton, and how much he does for this event, this Artists and Writers softball game.
Well, Leaf, of course, is a legend in his own time, and I think you were very accurate when you portrayed all the wonderful things that Leaf has done over the years. He's one of a kind, and he just is like an Energizer bunny, takes a licking and keeps on ticking every year. He just seems to make it all work.
You said it, East Hampton, most beautiful village in all of America. During these times, and there have been economic times where people have been hurting, this is a charity event that helps the community, and there's a lot that this community does to help those that are not as wealthy among us.
And indeed, that's very accurate. You know, there's different stratas of economic ability within the entire footprint of East Hampton and actually the whole East End. So the charities that are the beneficiaries of today are certainly very worthwhile. And, you know, but for the grace of God go any one of us. So I think it's totally appropriate to support these charities today. And if someone's in need, one-on-one, let's reach out and help them.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for being here and keeping East Hampton #1.
Well, I want to thank VVH TV for being here as a part of today's festivities. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
It's a pleasure.
Way to go, way to go. That's good. This probably think that hits better than a walk.
Next batter up, Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
That's okay.
Oh.
We're going to have a review by the umpires on Pollock. It was called a fair ball, a single, 2 men on.
Well, this is the starting, and then we're going to start substituting in.
Yeah.
All right, you're Scott, Henry?
Yeah.
So you'll substitute in.
Sure, no problem.
Well, we caught up with Gianna Shashray here at the Artists and Writers baseball game, but you're representing another organization that's close to our heart.
Yes, it's the Hamptons International Film Festival. It's taking place over Columbus Day weekend, October 7th through the 11th, here in East Hampton, but also we have screenings in Southampton, Montauk, and evening performances at Bay Street Theater.
Could you introduce us to your lovely friend?
Absolutely. This is Iabo Boyd. This is her first year with the festival, and we're very excited to have her on board. And yeah, I'm really happy to be here. You know, it's a natural fit because Alec Baldwin is on our board, Bob Balaban, who's also playing today, so it seems like a natural thing for us to do this year.
It's interesting what you just mentioned, how certain people, Alec being one of them, who participate. This is a charity event, but he also is an important part of the Hamptons International Film Festival. And your festival, under your guidance, working with Karen Arikian and at the Hamptons International Film Festival, you guys are first rate. It's becoming bigger and bigger.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We're really excited to be here.
So this is your first year, so.
It's my first year. Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm really excited.
Well, we're also doing a special series with Alec Baldwin this summer entitled Summer Docs. We had our first event was on July 5th with a film called Art of the Steal. Our second event, which just happened this past Saturday, was the Pentagon Papers, The Most Dangerous Man in America, with Daniel Ellsberg, who was there for a great conversation with Carl Bernstein and Alec. And our final film, which I can't really say what it is, I don't think we've released that information, so I don't think we have.
Oh, you're keeping secrets from me. Wait a second.
Well, it's going to be very exciting, and I think everyone, as soon as they hear about it, is going to actually want to buy a ticket for that. So
when will be the date for that?
That will be Labor Day weekend, Saturday, September 4th.
Well, these are the two ladies in the know. We are proud to be part of the Hamptons International Film Festival. We were with you guys from the beginning, 1996, and so wherever you go, we'll follow and enjoy the day. It's great seeing you at this event.
Yes, you do the same.
Okay, Mike Lupica up at bat for the Writers.
Benito Villa, reporter for the Bangor Express.
Coach stop, batting second for the right. One out. Bottom of the first, 1 0.
Dan Martinez's strike zone has just passed Bridgehampton.
Just a little bit out. Fly to right, and a second out.
All right, Bill Collage, I was a screenwriter, spent some years in East End. He was some really great stuff, and also he was documentary when he's dropped. So keep your eyes on your ears posted for that. I'm sure we can feature that on the Artist Writers Games.org website.
I'm with Ann Liguori, and it's such a pleasure to see you. You are, when it comes to professional women broadcasters, you're in the top of top. What you've done, FAN, and your broadcasts and your TV show, this is some event, and I know you're part of it.
Absolutely, I wouldn't miss it. They put me on the writers team, but honestly, I haven't played softball since I was a teenager, so I like to play golf and tennis and run, as you know, and cycle, but I come here with Sky, my golden retriever, and we root the writers team on.
You cover the golf scene, you cover the tennis scene, you're out there, whatever the major event is. The world of sports has gone real wacky, hasn't it? Hasn't changed.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's become such a big business, so it gets harder to become a fan, but the true passionate fans are still out there, and we recognize, I just had an interview with Pat LaFontaine and Bobby Nystrom and Clark Gillies recently, and those guys really, you know, we're just so passionate about hockey and played for the love of the game, and really not for the financial rewards, and you know, you still see guys like that and women like that who really are passionate about sports and don't let the business part of it really ruin it.
Well, you have a passion for this sport. You've had some of the biggest interviews in the history of sports. Everyone wants to be interviewed by Ann Liguori, and congratulations on your foundation. Every year Ann does a tennis tour, well, no, a golf tournament,
charity golf event,
in which you have a charity event which raises a lot of money for your foundation, and this year was a big event also.
Yeah, our next event is May 17th in 2011. It's the Vonnegut. They're hosting the Women's Open in a few years, and we raise money for cancer prevention and cancer research, and we always have a great time and a lot of great support out here on the East End. Very, very wonderful people out here who support not only my foundation, but a lot of foundations, a lot of charities, so we can't appreciate, you know, the people out here enough, really, for their support.
Let's drop it.
How did he get it?
That's right.
Oh, an umpire with a brush and two working lines. Excellent. That's what this game needs.
Yo, go low.
Alec Baldwin back in the place after slashing one over third. And he does it again.
Cheryl, you having fun enjoying this artist and writers game?
Loads. I try to come every year.
Isn't it nice to see these people out there giving it their all?
This is a big crowd today.
Donny McInerny will be
and who's your friend here?
Riley.
All right. Well, I think is it Riley? Riley's really into it.
Am I going to be on ET?
There were rumors this year that he would run for the Senate.
Well, maybe with Riley we can definitely make.
Riley, are you smiling?
Oh, and a bobble.
Thank you.
Drop the ball.
Smiling.
Runner's going to third, slide.
One of our famous writers, Ben Bradley, publisher.
Editor,
all of the above, and you've been part of this event.
Post, yeah. I've been part of it for years, yeah, but you want to know the truth, I fell asleep after lunch.
Hey, Ben, I got to ask you, this is some event, artists, writers.
Sure.
I know you're rooting for the writers there
of
because
course.
those artists are, they're an interesting lot, but then never to the level of the writers.
Well, they're all, none of them are as interesting as they think they are, but...
And you would bring a number of your great reporters here that were part of Bob. A number of your reporters that worked for you at the paper. You would bring, and you had most of the players were from your team.
I had some post reporters up here. Yeah, I think Woodward was up here one year. Bob Woodward.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you, what's happening in Washington? You covered that beat for so long. What's going on?
I don't know. You got to read the papers. I wake up every morning, there's something doing. It's awfully interesting what's going on now. Very interesting president, doing a good job, I think, and off to a smash start. Slowed down a little, I think, but that's probably good for
So you're
him.
hopeful about where we're going as a country?
Always. Always have
One
been.
of the pleasures of being here at the Artists and Writers baseball game is to catch up with old friends and dear friends. And this is a dear, dear friend, someone who's been part of VVH for many years. In fact, you were our first reporter out on the field there, covering this whole party scene, Debbie Tuma. It's so great to see you, Debbie.
Good to see you too.
This is your beat. This is your beat. This artists, writers. You're a writer. You're an artist. This is some event, isn't it?
I love it. Been coming here a really long. There's the mayor.
I mean, look, the mayor
Mayor
himself
of East
has
Hampton,
come in to say hello.
Paul Rickenback.
No, I just happened to see a very nice lady who I've had a long-standing, wonderful relationship with, Debbie Tuma. And I hope you're just getting a few words of wisdom from this lady.
But you have a lot more words of wisdom, I'm sure. You could talk about East Hampton a lot longer than I could.
Isn't she amazing? She's a resource here, isn't she?
She is. She's one of those dynamic people, a mover and a shaker, if you will.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor.
And I'm going to leave very quietly.
We're gonna get him next. We're gonna get you next. Don't go very far.
Well, what our viewers should know is Debbie has been a reporter for all of the major newspapers, Daily News presently, Dan's papers. I mean, you also may, when Debbie walks in on the scene, they realize that there's a reporter in the house, so people get themselves together.
I don't know, Ernie. It's just something that's really fun to do, and also out here in the Hamptons, you have a fabulous playground to do it in. And I mean, we have serious news stories out here like anything else, but we also have such a fun summer. It goes by fast, 13 weeks to pack in all these events. But this is one of my favorite ones, the Artist Writers Game. Goes back for so long.
We're with Henry Haney. Henry, this is such a pleasure to catch up with you. And who's this beautiful group of people we're with?
Oh, yes, I am glad to be here. I was looking forward to coming. I didn't know where you guys was, but I'm glad that I ran into you all.
Great. Could you introduce this beautiful lady to your right?
I let them introduce themselves, that they'll be better than me. Okay.
I am Mr. Haney's niece. My name is Eushelia, and I'm visiting from the Lake Forest, Lincolnshire area in Chicago. And these are my sons, Alexander and Ross, and my mother.
And I am Lily Hudson. I am indeed Henry's sister, and we're really having a great time this year. Of all the many years that we've come, we're having a great time. Thank you very much.
Isn't this a great event?
Oh, it's wonderful, and it's so nice to have something for all the community to come out and enjoy.
Now, we always felt that Henry could run for mayor.
I think you're right. He was a city councilman, and I think he did well, and he was involved in the Preservation Society, and he's been a long-time member of the East Hampton community. So some 50 or 60 years he's been a member.
Well, for those of us who cover the East Hampton beat, we know this gentleman and all the great work he does for the community. So hats off to you, Henry, to you and to your family. Great catching up with you.
Okay, thanks a lot, son. Thanks a lot. You made my day. I could go home now, Dad, because you made my day.
I think they're sending me home now, too. Okay, Alec Baldwin is at bat. Oh, there he goes. And he's safe on first. Right now, we're tied 4-4. And I think we're going to be wrapping up our broadcast here from the Artists and Writers softball game. So it's a yearly event, and we invite our viewers to come and be part of this. For WVVH, I'm Ernie Shimizi.